Hello guys, Brad here again, and today I just wanted to do a little discussion video. I was over at Base Notes a few days ago, and I saw a nice little thread going on at the male fragrance discussion, and the title was called "What Happened to Fragrance Community?" And basically, a guy was saying how between 2009 and 2011, he noticed that there were a lot of videos on YouTube about fragrances, and now lately there seems to be a downward trend and not as many videos. So I was reading through all of the responses, and there were quite a few responses to this thread, and I thought they were kind of interesting. So I thought I would kind of go over some of these responses, give my take, and then at the end of the video, just kind of give my thoughts on the whole matter. Number one of the first things that came up was Creed batch variation. Certainly a frustrating aspect of Creed's. Aventus is notorious for having batch variation. I think Millesime Imperial as well. Um, Frustrating, but I'm not really sure if that is like a big reason for people leaving the community or not putting out videos. Number two was Aventus. Some people seem to think that now that we have Aventus, the journey's over. Why carry on or whatever. Well, I think the whole idea of a fragrance community is to continue to discover new fragrances, even if you found a really good one like Aventus. And I think maybe some people would argue that Aventus isn't even really as good as the ones expected it to be. I know Drakdoc recently did a video. He put Aventus at like number 10. Some people are selling off their Aventus bottles or just kind of losing interest in it if they even liked it to begin with. I think it's a good fragrance, but certainly didn't have a big impact on my decision to stay or leave in the community. Number three, lack of good new fragrances. Now, this is an interesting issue. We all know Gucci and Yves Saint Laurent. They're basically just coming out with these uninteresting fragrances as of late. They're not the powerhouse designer houses that they used to be. Certainly a big impact, I believe. Number four, we have can't keep up with all the new fragrances, especially if you look at the niche markets. Niche houses are popping up left and right. All these designer flankers, and it gets a little frustrating trying to keep up. So that's a good point. Number five, redundancy of reviews. A lot of fragrances get reviewed again and again with little difference of opinion or thought between the two reviewers. Some validity to that argument, I believe. Number six is a big one. Internal bickering in the community. When the fragrance community first started, it seemed to be this relatively small, happy family. Then we had the fragrance trolls pop in and create a little bit of havoc there. Then they kind of went away, and now we have internal fighting between other reviewers and such, and it's creating some problems. Number seven, real life happens. A good example of that is Hirazuko. Got a job, and they told him he can't be, on YouTube, so he took his channel down, and no more Hirazuko apparently. So real life happens. That is a big part of it. People have children, go to school, medical issues, whatever. It all plays its part. And number eight, we have niche happened, and it all went downhill. I remember when it used to be pretty much all designer, a few creeds here and there, and now we have all these houses popping up. Waj, Zergov, Nazamatu. People are kind of getting like overwhelmed by it all. Getting in on these expensive 5 ml for $30 splits. Really putting a big dent in the pocketbook as well. So that's a big part of it too. But let me add some input on my end here. Number one is I think Facebook is a big part of the problem. Kind of like how before you had YouTube, you had Base Notes. Now we have Facebook kind of taking away from YouTube. So we have all these groups, interactions, and discussions going on there. And it's kind of taking away from some of the desire to actually make videos on YouTube. Number two, I would say a flooded market. So many reviewers, it's hard to keep up with who's doing reviews. New reviewers might not necessarily be getting any attention or shout outs. They come and go relatively quickly sometimes, and yeah. Number 3, changes in production values. Now, there are several reviewers right now, I would say notably like Coach Rob 619, bottom note, very skilled and talented people with very high production values, editing skills, and everything. But it takes a lot of work and effort, and if you don't get the viewership, it can be very frustrating. And I think a lot of people like myself that just have the simple webcam setups might be a little bit intimidated by all of that. It might be a little bit reluctant to try to compete with all that. So that can be frustrating. So people with low production values might be intimidated. People with high production values might be frustrated that they're not getting, you know, the attention that they feel they should have based on the effort they're putting into their videos. And number 4, a lot of the popular videos on YouTube in the fragrance community aren't necessarily even reviews. Top 10 lists are very popular for different spring, fall, summer, winter lists. We have like top 10 complimented, panty dropper. We have discussion videos like this one, drama type videos. And you know, a lot of people would rather just watch those than reviews, and that can be frustrating if you do an exclusive review and no one really seems to care, and then turns around and watches some other video where it's just a discussion, and you're thinking, well, gee, why didn't anybody watch my review? You know, it's an exclusive, and I put a lot of work into it, and nobody really seemed to care. So those are some thoughts that I came up with. Now, a lot of people might argue that the fragrance community is bigger than and stronger than ever, and I can see that. It's just a matter of keeping up with all the new reviewers and really just being on top of things. A lot of people are leaving quickly. Some of the old reviewers are coming back. Some are leaving for good. So I would say I can see what this guy's talking about. Things are different. Is the fragrance community dying? It's changing. I'm not sure if I would say it's dying or anything. Lots of videos still out there. They're just more scattered out. You know, it's like a shotgun. You know, the little pellets all over the place. You know, it's not just like one little cannonball like it used to be. So just pay attention to what's going on out there, and enjoy the fragrance community on YouTube. A lot of great things going on out there. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.